So as we can see from earlier on today, the contract signings for Wolverine vs Blade and Mega Man vs Donkey Kong took place, ready for their matches at Night of Champions.
Wow, an actual contract signing that went ahead with no violence? What madness is this? I'm sure that the contract signing between Godzilla and Deadpool next week will be just as level-headed.
Yes. Good evening and welcome to the show. The Big Daddy D is here alongside the Little Daddy E.
Hi.
And King of Trios Round 2 begins here this week on All-CAW Wrestling. Now the differences in Round 2 is that it's going to be elimination rules. So
It's not going to go on for a while, isn't it?
It might do, yeah. So it's not going to be 1-4 to a finish. You're going to have to eliminate every single member of the opposing team in order to advance.
Because that's always worked well in wrestling games.
Yes, it has. What are you talking about? This isn't a video game. This is real life, goddammit.
Okay, then.
So, first of all, making their way out here is the Justice League, the team of Batman, The Flash, and the Green Lantern. Now then, who did they defeat in order to advance? I forgot, actually. Who was it? Oh, yes, it was the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
How could I forget such a thing?
I'll let you remember all the things.
Yes, the things.
I'll just come out with occasionally hilarious one-liners.
Okay.
Like it's always been.
Well, let me know when you decide to be funny at some point, okay? And then I'll know when to look out for it. So yes, the Justice League defeated the Guardians of the Galaxy to advance to the second round of the tournament. But they're going to have one heck of a challenge here tonight because they're taking on the Unholy Alliance. Here they come. Nick! And the Unholy Alliance making the entrance. Oh my god, what's this? From the floor!
From the floor!
The ring! The ring! The ring is on fire!
No.
We don't need no water, let the mother... Flipper, burn. Burn, mother Flipper! Burn!
You tried.
I did try. I did try.
You tried so hard.
Some would say I'm very trying. So yes, we can see Chucky, Leatherface, and the current Randomest Rules champion, Michael Myers, making their way down to the ring. They are the team representing the Unholy Alliance. And of course, it is the other two members of the Unholy Alliance, Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger, that hold those coveted tag team titles.
Oh, well then.
And the winner of the King of Trios tournament will pick out two members of their team to take on Freddy and Jason for those titles. So Chucky, Leatherface and Michael Myers, they're here basically to form that extra protective barrier around the tag team titles to make sure that no one comes anywhere close to trying to challenge Freddy and Jason for those tag team belts. Which is sort of against the rules, but hey, these are bad guys, what do you expect?
Yeah.
They're like All-CAW Wrestling's version of the Wyatt family, or the Bullet Club, or the NWO, or whatever.
I think, don't you mean like Wyatt family if for won matches?
Oh, yes, the Wyatt family, if they, didn't get their arse kicked every week by Undertaker and Kane, or Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose.
If there weren't more of the Job Squad spooky version.
Yes, pretty much. So anyway, hello. Hope all is well with you lot in All-CAW Wrestling. Hope you've had a good Christmas and New Year. I thought I might just give you a bit of an update on what happened with the Christmas party that I went to. You remember when we were doing his season's beatings and I was going on about the thing with the buffets?
Oh yeah, you're going to be like ridiculously responsible for all of it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad actually, mainly because the buffet was like sort of tiny little things. It was like canapes and tiny little burgers and stuff like that.
Wait, tiny burgers?
The tiny little burgers, yeah.
Does that not defeat the point of the burger?
Pretty much, yeah. I remember saying a couple of times, it's like, yeah, I think I'll be getting a kebab on the way home, because... Yeah. They just weren't filling.
Could you not just make all the tiny burgers into one big burger?
I did think of that, yeah, but I don't think I was at that point in the night where I was pissed enough to actually think that would be a good idea. But no, it was a good night. It was a good venue. I have to say the DJ had something to be desired. He didn't even have an 80s playlist.
Oh.
You know, I was saying, come on, mate, I don't mean to tell you your job, but, you know, have you got this? Have you got that? I was, you know, asking for certain things. You know, Christmas songs. It says, have you got an 80s playlist? No, mate. Have you got a Christmas playlist? No, mate, this is all I've got. You know, this shitty little plinky plonk music that was playing in the background. So I'm like, I'm not being funny, but what is the actual point of you? I could do a better job if I plugged my mobile phone into one of your speakers and put Deezer on or Spotify or whatever. Spotify. Hang on a minute, going to do some tag team action here. Oh, look at this! Shades of Demolition! It's the Demolition Decapitation there on Chucky.
It's funny because alliteration.
Yes, it's
And
good.
now it rhymes.
But yeah, it were a good night out, the old Christmas night out, you know, and getting a taxi home after a boozy night out, you know, it is great. I mean, first you have the sense of satisfaction of thinking, I stayed out the latest, I win at getting sozzled. Hooray for me. But the problem is that if you don't live in the same town or city that your night out is in, it can be quite an expensive journey home. You know, you're talking about 30 quid for a taxi home kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you can stay out later, but it's like getting too high on the Price is Right. You know, you were too excitable, you went too far, and you've just lost a boat. Hang on a minute, we're going to see a boom drop here from the Flash. Boom! I think he's got Kofi Kingston's moveset there.
Possibly.
So, yeah, during the aforementioned Christmas party that I talked about during our Christmas special, Seasons Beatings, I have to say that on the night in question, I was in a commanding position. I met up with some friends beforehand. We had a few drinks before the party started, so we were already just nicely drunk when we got there. There were a few drinks tokens which were wisely spent, and I even ended up with getting a few additional ones as well from those that weren't drinking. Of course, if it had been earlier on in the night, I'd have said, no, it's fine, you can use the drinks tokens to get a lemonade or a Coke or a soda, you know. But because it was later on in the night, I was like, fucking hell, gimme, you know.
All the booze.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I think I must have ended up with about 12 of them in the end.
Well done.
So yeah, brilliant. You know, I was already getting pissed and I hadn't spent a load of money to get to that stage either. As predicted, I did eat a lot of buffet food, but because of the small portions, it wasn't to the extent where I could lapse into a heavy food coma later on in the night. So that was okay. Oh, hang on a minute, Flash has got hold of Chucky. What's he doing? He's manhandling him like a small child. Like a red-headed stepchild, which is probably what Chucky is, to be honest. Hang on a minute. What's the Flash going for here? Holy shit. Oh god, it's a DDT on the apron! He just spiked Chucky. Chucky just went, fuck this shit, I'm a tree. Jesus. So yeah, by the time it got to 11, and it was time to leave the party and catch the night bus home, I can honestly say, you know, I'd had a good night out and really enjoyed myself. You know, I was on the night bus going home, well fed and merrily drunk. You know, I had some decent music to listen to on my phone, the only decent music I was listening to all night. And I had some rather amusing drunken photos to look over. So, you know, in short, folks, I was as happy as a pig in a wig and or blanket. Until I needed a piss.
Oh, this'll end well.
So at first I thought I could ignore it and put it off until we got to my stop, but the constant blow of fresh air coming through the window, you know, whilst keeping me from dropping off to sleep on the bus, was also acting as a constant reminder that the pressure in my bladder was building with terrifying speed. So, you know, I assessed the situation. I'm on the last bus home, so I can't get out, piss, and then take the next one, because there isn't one. There is one man sitting opposite me who looks asleep. Away down the carriage, there's a discarded McDonald's cup rolling around the floor. And at this point, it's like one of those old text adventure games that I used to play on the Commodore 64. You know, type, get cup. You awake the sleeping man. He grinds your bones to dust. Game over.
Yeah, that sounds about accurate.
So, you know, I get the cup, and I can't piss into the cup while he's there. I mean, the idea of him waking up and seeing me pointing my drink-shriveled cock into a cardboard cup is far too vivid. So, you know, I have to get rid of the man. And by get rid, I mean pray to any god that'll listen that he gets off before me, you know.
Oh, that almost turned me sinister.
Yes. But then relief. You see, snorting awake, the man looks startled and jumps off at the next stop. So, hooray, now I am alone. So, I pick up the McDonald's cup. And by the way, this episode is not sponsored by McDonald's. And I take this cup and I gently, precisely fill it with my piss.
Yeah, I don't think McDonald's would want to be associated with that image. By McDonald's, the big fatty D pisses in our cups.
Well, I would like if McDonald's maybe had some more sturdy cups, because I'm filling this cup with my piss to the frimsily sodden brim. There's still some piss left in me, but I managed to use all my unfocused, drunken strength to stem the flow. This doesn't quite work, and I end up squirting a fair amount down my leg. So, trying to put the lid on the cup, I realise it's now impossible because the paper is now too soggy from the previous drink. And any pressure simply bends the cup and pours piss onto my hands. Now, I'm not particularly bothered by piss, especially if it's my own. But having a leg and a palm covered in cooling piss and holding a cup full of the hot stuff, it makes me think, I think there's something very wrong with me.
What have I done in my life to deserve this?
Where
did it all go wrong?
It feels right at this stage to remind everyone that I am over 30 years old and supposedly a fully functional adult. Hang on a minute. Double team in action. Shades of the Hardy Boys.
But the Hardy Boys were on the bus.
No, not here. I'm actually talking about the action for a moment.
What, are you talking about the match?
Yes.
What is this witchcraft?
So, I decide to quickly and calmly sling the piss out of the window at the next stop. Obviously, I can't possibly do that whilst the bus is in motion. Not only is that dangerous and irresponsible, but, even worse, the driver could see me doing it and throw me off the bus, So at the next stop, I decide to throw it out of the window. But obviously, I'm a good lad and I decide not to litter. I'm thinking to myself, I'll just tip my piss out, and then resume feeling pleased with myself. There was a point tonight where I felt good about myself and I'm keen to recapture it, Sadly, the one person... Oh, hang on, let me rephrase that. Sadly, the one fucking person waiting to get on the bus at the next stop is waiting by my window. The bus pulls along and this guy is stood right here as I'm trying to empty my piss out the window. I'm appalled. There's 30 sets of windows on this bus and this cunt is slowly drawing up to mine. So he sees me through the window, so I sort of sit back down again. Pull a drunken face and, which is the closest I can get to innocently whistling, "Who, me?" Problem is I'm smart and I've got far too many teeth showing. He gets on. My hot cup of piss, meanwhile, it's still in my hand. Yeah. So finally, we sort of get to my stop, but there's no bins at the station. Just those large, clear plastic bags which show things like electronic devices, bombs, and presumably piss.
And small children.
So I'm not dropping my cargo into those. It'll look far too much exactly what it's supposed to be, what it is. My sense of drama would require a posh woman in a fur stole to say, "Darling, that man's just emptied some whittle into a bin bag." And her companion, a gruff major with a bushy moustache, would probably tut loudly and tell her to stop fussing. My one shred of luck is that there aren't any ticket inspectors in the station, so as drunk and as unstable I am, it's a relief not to have to go rummaging around for my travel card while slinging yellow piss all over my chest. Those sliding doors leading to the outside world, they've never seemed more like a finishing line. The bin outside the station's never felt more like a goal. I go out, I drop the piss with a last big slosh over my wrist as I'm forced to tilt it to get into the hole, and then I walk home like a spy that's just done a really hard mission. Now, I would go into a takeaway on the way home to get some food, but considering the fact that I've now got a faint smell of piss coming off me, I don't think I'd actually get served. And quite frankly, I think I've lost my appetite. Also, the ordeal itself has now rendered me strangely sober, which means all that booze went to waste. On the upside, I saw a car with the registration WUF on the way home, which made me say woof to myself. Put a spring in my step as I walked the rest of the way home. Alright, it's probably not the best end to a story in the world. It could have used some more car chasers, punching and ninjas, but hey, I'm sorry if my life isn't like a Godfrey Ho movie. Wow, tough crowd. Fuck you all, forget it. Forget it! I'm sorry if my life stories doesn't have enough car chases and punches in.
No, this is recorded, they can't hear you. There is
okay.
no audience.
Alright, I'll go back. Oh shit, Leatherface has got a sledgehammer. But no, Green Lantern takes it off him and just throws it down. Yeah, I should point out as well that the round 2 is also going to be no DQ. Because otherwise you'll get wrestlers just wandering around in the ring and the referee will count them out and they'll get eliminated that way and it gets really shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hang on, the Flash going for a pinfall on Leatherface.
Oh,
No, doesn't get it. Batman and... Oh, hang on, we're going to get a hot tag.
Hot tag.
Whilst Michael Myers and Batman are still in the ring. There's too many people in the ring. It's the hot tag.
Hot tag.
No, it bloody
does
doesn't.
it, bollocks.
No, never works. So yeah, that was my Christmas party. In fact, we actually went to the Christmas fair the week before Christmas. You know, there was a tombola there and everything. You know, you pull a raffle ticket out of the hat, and if you get a number ending with a 0 or a 5, you win.
Something from Powderland.
Yeah, I mean, does that sound too good to be true? I mean, have you just relaxed every sphincter in your body with a frankly ill-advised shrug? Well, prepare to fly around the room like a fucking balloon when you see what you win. Look at this. Look at this here. A cassette. A 90-minute cassette.
Wow.
What lasts for 90 minutes? Nothing. You could put everything on that cassette. Also, there is a small bowl here.
A small bowl.
A small bowl.
With a picture of a cat on it.
With a picture of a cat on it. What more could you ask for?
Picture of 2 cats.
And if there's anything I've grown to love in my adulthood, it's evasiveness about the number of cards you get for £2.50. How many cards do you get for £2.50 in WH Smith? But it's not like that at the Christmas fair. No, £2.50 gets you mostly 10 cards. But that's only the beginning, you see. When Maureen's getting her daughter to pack the bag, she'll say, "Oh, just put mostly 10 cards in those bags, dear." You know, and this insanely relaxed attitude has made the child think, you know what? She said mostly 10. It won't matter if I put mostly 10. You know, by the time you're 2 mostlies away from a number, things can get crazy. I mean, I swear one day I got 14 cards for £2.50.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, fuck me, I walked home fast that day. I wanted to count my cards. There were 14. So, yeah, I mean, while I was going through the Christmas fair, I actually came across Chris Evans' autobiography. Now, I don't mean Chris Evans, the guy who plays Captain America. I mean the ginger bloke in the UK with the glasses who's currently hosting the new series of Top Gear.
Yay.
It made for quite an interesting read. It was good to see Chris Evans finally coming clean regarding his controversial love affair with teen pop sensation Billy Pied Piper. Speaking from his CB radio and his Vauxhall Astra, Chris said that he decided to get serious with Billy after she had casually mentioned that her excessively large face had been picking up illegal European cable channels. So quick as a flash, Chris whipped her around his gaff and plugged her into the aerial. And true to her word, Miss Piper started receiving dodgy European porn via her massively disproportionate head. Chris was tickled pink. Chris then noticed that it was Christmas Day and Titanic was on the telly. Imagine his surprise when they didn't cut the scene featuring a topless Kate Winslet. Aired well before The Watershed, we might add. Chris then popped out his little captain and rapidly beat one off over the TV. His granny, sitting in the nearby armchair, wasn't best pleased. That Christopher, eh?
What a scoundrel.
What a ginger cunt. Of course, there is a downside to Christmas fairs, and that's pornography. You're absolutely littered with turbo-grade filth. In the more sordid rooms, you're ankle-deep in grunt sweats. Also, at drawer fresheners. Who doesn't gasp in horror every time they open their drawers at the violent stench of decay and the cloud of erupting spores? Drawer fresheners are a modern essential, but I can't buy these, you see. Not because they're lavender, because, you know, that's my favourite. But if I hang around this store for even a fraction of a second, people's going to start thinking I'm getting my cheapies from the vintage ladies.
Ugh.
So I'm asking innocent questions about the drawer fresheners, you know, but I was so constantly distracted by the large-breasted lady that I actually found myself saying, "Hello, have you got anything I could slip into my drawers to deaden the smell of mints?" But, you know, look at the lavender-filled crinoline ladies. You know, look at them. They're the fucking best. And don't tell anyone, but I'm actually using the lavender ladies as drawer fresheners. I mean, it's a stroke of genius, I swear. I mean, sure, like the £2 a piece and the drawer fresheners are like £2 for free, but look at them. Look at it. Look at the craft on this thing. You know, these ladies are so full of art, they look like mice. In fact, I won't be surprised if this was a metaphor. Which brings me on to this nice little script that I've wrote. I'm going to play the part of the wise craftsman. You can play the part of the idiot customer.
All right then. I would like to make a complaint. This crinoline lady is a mouse.
Aren't we all like mice, sir, in a little way?
No, I'm a human being. This is absolutely the most unlike a mouse you can be.
Look inside yourself and embrace the mouse. But remember, you are the kind of mouse who has money and pays for things.
Oh God, the craft is in me. I am a mouse.
They're £2 each, £20 for mostly 10.
Ah.
So, yeah, turbo grade filth and lavender. What more could you ask for? And of course, because Christmas is like been and gone, there was the inevitable Secret Santa that took place at work. So, yeah, you're probably wondering then, when Secret Santa came up, which little bit of Little Britain merchandise should you buy for your friends? You know, because it's going cheap, isn't it? Because Little Britain's not been on telly for ages. And so you're thinking, oh yeah, so-and-so likes Little Britain. I'll buy him a piece of Little Britain merchandise because it is going cheap, you know.
It will go incredibly cheap.
So when you're considering which Little Britain doll or keyring that you're buying your friends, I've put together a quick guide to quickly assess the pros and cons of the more popular choices. So, the item in question is the Emily Howard talking plush doll. Now, I'll highlight the pros. You can highlight the cons.
Hooray!
Okay, so the pros of this are, it contains all of Emily's best catchphrases, such as, I'm a lady. It makes an ideal Christmas present for an unconvincing transvestite, and it has a larger face than it has any right to have. The cons of this are...
Right, I'm going to read these out like a infomercial type look. So, are you ready? Novelty disappears within seconds. What are you? Some kind of twat? Put some thought into your presents, you awful shit.
That sounds like a recommendation to me.
I like that.
Next up, we've got the Vicky Pollard talking mug. So the pros of this are that it contains all of Vicky's most best catchphrases, such as, yeah, but, no, but. It's an ideal Christmas present for a friend that's got mouth acne. And it makes every cup of tea an unstoppable catalogue of pure mirth.
Yes.
The cons of this are...
So, it's guaranteed to have you hurling scalding tea across the room. For God's sake, a talking mug? Are you seriously so dumb? And finally, you don't know the person at all, do you? It's just a mindless, stupid gift so you can stop thinking about other people and get back to wanking your little penis and or vagina. What a nice thought.
And then finally we've got the Daffyd keyring, which features all of Daffyd's most best catchphrases, including, I am the only gay in the village. It makes an ideal Christmas present for a humorless gay bloke who values his assumed isolation so highly that he ignores the obvious presence of gays all around him. And of course, he's the best gay comedy character since the last one.
There's been many.
The cons of this are...
Novelty wears off 3 seconds before you actually see it. Seriously, well done at having a gay friend and being so cool about it that you buy them a doll that says gay stuff. Jesus Christ, just spend some time with your friends and stop rubbing their faces in how little thought, effort or genuine empathy you put into the relationship. And finally, carry on like this and you will die lonely and unloved, you awful shit.
So yeah, that's our Christmas gift guide.
Yeah.
Oh, double RKO! Out of nowhere!
No, it's actually out somewhere. It's pretty obvious.
It was RKO out of somewhere. Batman is now mounting the top rope with a... Oh, hang on. How the hell did you miss there, Batman?
Well done, Batman.
So the entire hopes and dreams of the entire Unholy Alliance now rest solely upon the small little shoulders of Chucky there. Are we going to get a clean sweep here from the Justice League, I wonder?
Probably.
Super kick! Super kick! Batman with a super kick there to Chucky!
Especially considering Chucky is now unconscious.
2, 3, and that is it! The Justice League make a clean sweep over the Unholy Alliance here tonight at round 2 of King of Trios. Let's look at some replays. There was the chokeslam from Haddonfield.
And random Green Lantern.
Random Green Lantern. Oh, we missed this. We must have been ranting on about Little Britain keyrings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That was a close fall. We get this. We're going to say it together. Double RKO out of nowhere!
I didn't say it with you.
Why didn't you, you awful shit?
I don't know.
And then, super kick! Right to the mush!
Right to the bush.
So, yeah, we hope you've enjoyed us ranting on about, Christmas fairs, Secret Santa presents, even though it's now a few weeks removed from Christmas, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, John Cena's now injured. He won't be competing at Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, which some would say is the nicest late Christmas present of all.
Hooray.
You can't see me. Correct, I can't see you. Thank God for that.
Maybe I won't fall asleep during this WrestleMania.
We did last year, didn't we?
I actually did. Well, enough it was during the Cena match.
Let's take a look then at the updated tournament brackets. We can see that the Justice League have now advanced over the Guardians of the Galaxy and now the Unholy Alliance. They will go through to the next round. And next week, we will see the Avengers taking on the Shield. Oh, hang on a minute. Some discussions going on backstage.
Discussions.
Leatherface, Michael and Chucky, they're out of here. Eddie and Jason. Bringing more backup.
Oh no!
Who do they have in mind?
Who will they bring?
Who, damn it? Who?
What is this madness?
Be sure to join us next week, folks, as the plot continues.
Yes.
The plot thickens. Anyway, I'm off now. I really need to have a piss. Bye. So I've got a McDonald's cup round here.